This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, can you hear me yet?
Yes, Kumar, we can hear you.
Okay, that's great. So see here, yesterday I told you to check what is the issue with whatever the table of contents that we have created. I don't know whether you have checked it or not, but the issue is with the pattern because I have created the tab page controls, but for every tab page controls in the pattern you need to apply at least few things, but we haven't applied anything, which is why it gave the error. Okay, I hope you can fix it out. And now we have discussed on the primitive controls, okay, and we haven't seen how they will look like. So what we'll do is we will see this is a static text, and here we have added 3 more tabs, and we called it as a primitive controls. Okay, now anyways I will create few more controls and then we will open the screen. Okay, now let it be there as is. Now I will go to tab page control 2, and here I have set the caption as tab page 2, and this one is tab page 1. And then now in this I have added again a tab control. I have added again a tab control, and we have added a tab page control, and I did not add anything to this one. Okay, now I have added feeds and field groups. Let me add few more, or let me call this as a custom. Okay, from now onwards I want to go with a custom pattern. Apply pattern, and then let me go for a custom pattern. Right click on the new, and you can see there is a control called calendar. Okay, I want to keep only calendar in this tab, and I want to add one more tab page, and for this tab page I have given no caption. Let me call it as calendar, and this as well. Let me specify some custom pattern, apply pattern, and you can take the custom, and let me add few more controls here, new, and checkbox will add later on, clock card, because this is controls you would not be able to modify anything, just you can view them. Okay, and we have seen date time, we have added a desktop calendar. If you want to add, you can add it. And then attachments, see here, this is one more interesting control, the document attachments. Okay, in Dynamics 365 you're not going to upload any files locally here. All the files will be uploaded to the blob storage. Okay, you need to decide where to upload. Okay, most of the times the people will choose blob, and if you want to use it, because in case of on premises you can have the local, okay, you can have the local file, whereas coming to this one it's not possible. Okay, and even here as well you can see there will be none of the properties which we can modify. If you want to use it in the code, by default if you want to upload something you can do that, whereas other things you can't do anything. It will just upload the file. Okay, it's a document management framework. Okay, and it will attach the files. Similarly, if you want to view the documents that were attached, you can use the document viewer control, but unfortunately I am not connected to Azure. Okay, it's disconnected. Please remember this is working in a disconnected mode, so I can't show you with the blob. Okay, and then drop dialog we will see that buttons later on. Next you will have some feed. If you want to get that external feed, okay, for example a RSS feed, and if you want to show the details, you can get that external feed. For this external feed you need to set the feed caption, feed container, feed data field, feed data source. This is one way, and the other way is at runtime if you want to populate the feed, you can do that. How to do that? You need to get the URL and store it in the database. Okay, and store it in the database. Currently whatever the data source, that even if we add address or something else, that will be of no meaning. Okay, and this feed control, if you ask me, I have never used this. Okay, this feed control, yep. Okay, and now the next one would be, let me open a new, and then you can say there is a Gantt chart control. If you want to create a project management style, if you want to display the information in the form of a project management style, then we will use Gantt chart. Okay, and form part already we have seen, we have created a form part and we have applied it. Okay, and similarly if you want to upload the files locally, then you can use the file upload control. We can use the file upload control. We have the document attachment and the file upload. Okay, and then get started banner. Whenever the customer is trying to open the Dynamics AX, if you want to show something, then we will use this get started and get started banner. Grid control, to display the data in the form of a tabular format. Okay, we have used the grid control a whole lot of times. Group, if you want to group few set of controls, then we will use the group control. Okay, and coming to this hierarchical grid common, hierarchy viewer, these three controls are there. They are used mainly in the HR management, human resource management. Okay, or I can say, if you want to show something in a hierarchy, then you can use this. Okay, because hierarchy is mostly available in HR, and in HR management they will be using this. And whereas I found it in one more place in Dynamics 365 when they are listing out the companies. Okay, there as well they have used these hierarchical controls. And these controls, if you want to show in a hierarchical view, that means a manager and then AM and then lead and then resources and then SSE, SC, AC, all that stuff. If you want to show in the form of a hierarchy, then we are going to use the hierarchy viewer control. Okay, and then we have the HTML editor and HTML viewer. We'll come back to these two controls again. If you want to display some images, okay, we can use the image control. I will come back to these three controls later on. Okay, I will come back to these three controls later on again, don't worry. And next, you can see there are a whole lot of controls. We have the Power BI control, and these buttons will come back because with the action pane I will discuss about these buttons. And then we have a Power BI control. If you want to display some rich looking reports, if you want to display some rich look reports, then we will go for Power BI control. Okay, I will explain you about this Power BI control along with workspaces. Okay, and similarly, to define the business flow and show it, we have a process management, and you can use the process flow control. Okay, and frankly speaking, these controls you are going to use 90% of the controls you are going to use very rarely. Whatever the controls that we use regularly, I will explain them, and the remaining controls I want you to try once. Okay, if you want to just learn, you can try them once, but even if you use them now, you will not be using them in any of the implementation projects. Okay, because there will be very few controls that we'll be using. Okay, and coming to the reference group control, this is interesting. If you remember, when we open the customer page in the address tab, if I select, if I add the address field, I will get the lookup automatically. From where? From the table. Okay, and if you want to create this kind of lookups, there are different ways. From that, the first way is the EDT lookup. Okay, the relation. Based on the relation, you can get the lookup. Second way is based on the EDT, you can get the lookup. Third way is there is a class called syslookup. There is a class called syslookup. And using this syslookup, you can create a lookup of your own. If you have some custom strings, if you have some custom string, you can use that custom string to create a lookup. And there is one more way. You have a enum. Using the enum as well, you can get lookup in the combo box. You can do that. Okay. And if you want to get a table lookup, then you will use reference group control. Then we will use reference group control. And by default, if you drag and drop, you will automatically get reference group. Okay. And if you want to add a lookup for a string and you have some custom strings, let's say colors in a WebGear, you have 7 colors. You don't have the enumerated data for type for that. If you want to add a lookup, we will use the sys lookup table class, and then we will create the lookup dynamically. Where we will write the code? We need to write the code in initialization method. Whenever we are doing the initialization, we need to generate the lookup for that particular control. Okay, so like this there are different types of lookups. Okay, and we have seen a few of the types. And then the next one is report viewer, but this report viewer as well no one will use directly. Okay, what we will do is this report viewer, we will directly show the reports whenever we will create a menu item and the report will be displayed. Whereas if you want to embed a report in your form, then we will use the report viewer control. Okay, so like this there are a few more controls: tab, string, static text, we know, state machine, we know, and table. Okay, this table control, in whole Dynamics AX, there is only one place where they have used table control, and that place is the tutorial. Only in the tutorial they have used the table control. Nowhere else they have used this table control. And this tile button, we will use this in workspaces. Tile button is used in workspaces. Okay, similarly, you have a card, tutorial HTML component. Because few of the times people used to ask, okay, how to work with this? Then you can add a tutorial HTML component, and if you want, you can check. Okay, tutorial HTML component control, and you can check this how this is going to work. Okay, but we will directly see with the HTML control, not with the tutorial. Okay, I want to see with the HTML control directly. Okay, so like this, we have the different types of form controls. Now you can see coming to this controls, whatever I have added, even there is no label as well here. Just they will display on its own. There is no label as well. Okay, you can see this. Got it? So this is how we have the different types of controls. All these are not bound to the data source. All those are unbound controls. Okay, let me rebuild and then open, and let's see these controls. Okay, and if you want to try from your end, you can try the other controls here, but frankly speaking, most of the controls you will not use in your lifetime. Okay, because we have a dimension entry control which is for finance. Okay, and frankly speaking, already whatever we have in finance now, that's more than enough. No one is going to customize the finance stuff in Dynamics AX. Not only in Dynamics AX, in any ERP, financial management system customizations are not done. Why they are not done? Only for one reason. Finance is again very different stuff. Okay, and already we will have everything in it. Okay, already we will have everything in it. So what people will do is they will try to use the existing stuff, and if there is any additional requirement on finance which they can compromise, they will simply compromise that requirement. They will not go with that requirement. Yeah, because if they go with that requirement, what will happen? If you customize the finance, there will be a lot of issues that you need to face, which is why in financial management systems customizations are not done. Okay, which is why even whatever the dimensions they have, that will be more than enough. Okay, now you can see here build got completed successfully. Let me open the front end. Just a second, it's loading. And in the meantime, I would like to tell you about this table lookup. Okay, let's see how to work with it. Okay, otherwise it is loading. Because today I want to discuss a few things in forms. We will see this table. No. First of all, let's see list view. Okay, we have two controls. One is called list view and the other one is called list box. You can use two different types of controls. Okay, so we will see what are those. First of all, we will go to shopping management system and then the table of contents. Let me check first of all if there are any errors. Okay, build got completed successfully. Okay, and now you can see this is my tab page one. Primitive controls you can add. Okay, suppose let's say I type something here, it will throw the error. Okay, so this is by default. I did not write any validation. This is date time. You can select the date time, whatever you want. Okay, this is the date time control. And this, we are getting it from the code. If you remember, in the initialization, I have created a new GUID from where I'm getting this. And this is the int64 control. If I enter a text, it will throw the error. And if I cross the limit of this one, let's see what happens. Okay, it will issue the warning. It should be in this range only. Okay, so like this it is going to work. These are the unbound controls. Unbound means which are not bound to the database. And similarly, this is integer and this is real control and a string control. You can type whatever you want. And then it's a time control. You can set the time and you can update it. Now this is tab page 2. You can see this is calendar control. And here I have one more tab page. And here you can see this is the time card, clock card. We'll call this as a clock card. And this is a file upload control. If you want to upload the file, you can simply take any file and you can upload it. Okay, you can see it got automatically here. This is the document type file and you can click on the upload. If it is connected, it will upload the document, but this is not connected, so it will simply say please try to upload the document again. Okay, and again no record found. This is the document viewer. Okay, in the document viewer, if you want to display something, you need to attach document to this. And remember, in Dynamics 365, the documents you are not going to store in the local space, you will store the documents in the Azure. Okay, remember. And this is a local file upload control. Click on the browse button and you can take any file here, open, click on upload. It will upload the file to the temporary location. Okay, this will work. Whereas coming to this control, it is not going to work because this is a document attachment control. Okay, document attachment control. What this will do is it will store in the form of a blob and then it will get that URI where it has stored. Okay, so all that should happen. If that should happen, it should, what it should do? It should have connectivity, but unfortunately there is no connectivity here. Okay, and coming to the tab page 3, we have not done anything. Okay, we will work on tab page 3 now. Okay, now let me go to the back end again. Now see here, we will see a different type of control called list view control. Where exactly you can find it? Because most of the times people used to ask me, suppose let's say if I want to work with some set of controls, what I will do? The first thing that I will do is I will go and check in the screens, in the standard screens, if that control is being used anywhere or not. Okay, for example, let me show you a batch setup. Okay, batch group. Okay, now if I go to this batch group in system administration, here we are going to set up the batch servers. By default, batch server, one server is selected because there is only one server. And you can see here, there are two buttons. This is called a list view. Okay, here you can use a list view or list box. And then these two are called navigation buttons. Okay, now we have it. So how to work with this? Let's go to form a batch group. Let me go to backend and then application explorer. And then you can go to user interface, forms. What is the form name? Batch group. Go to batch group. And now I want the similar form. So what I can do? If I want, I can simply duplicate it. I can duplicate in the project, I can create it. That's one way. The second way is, if you want to check what is there inside it, you can view the code. You can view the designer. Okay. You can view the designer and you can check how it is organized. Now you can see they have a tab and they have a batch servers tab here. Oh, what is this here? They have only batch servers tab page and an overview. Oh, in batch servers tab page, if I go here, they don't have any controls. Only they have the tab page. But how they are getting this? You can see it is empty. Okay, now let me go to the code. Now you can see here, this is the init method. In the init method, what they have done? They have taken something called list panel. Says list panel relation table callback. They are trying to create a new form, and in this new form, they are using the batch servers information. Okay, form control str, batch group, batch servers. Now you can go to batch group. This is the control name. In this tab page, they want to add the list panel. They want to add the list panel. They are initializing it here. Okay, if you want to create a list panel out of a code, you can do in this fashion. Oh, now it is good. Now let's say I don't want to do this. Okay, this is well and good, but I don't want to do this. I want to do it in a different way. How to do that? Okay, let me check. Now I have the table of contents. I want you to try that. You can duplicate and you can add your own data and you can try that. Okay, please try it out. I'll go to the table of contents and I have one more tab page here. In this tab page, I have a tab and then a tab page. I will remove this pattern. Right click, remove pattern, and here I have the pattern as unspecified. Click on the apply pattern. I will say toolbar and list, and it is expecting a select one grid tree list view. Oh no, not this one. I want list panel here. 1 second. I want list panel. Okay. Yeah, list panel. This is the one. Okay. Now it is expecting a group control. Now let me go to properties. 1 second. And I will update the caption to list panel. This is my list panel. And now in this list panel, I will click on the new and then I will select a group control here. And here you can see available panel, actions panel, selected panel. It is expecting 3 more groups. Okay, let me call this as list panel group. Okay, this is at the top level. And in this group, it is expecting few more controls. Click on the new button and then we have a group. Okay, and in this group it is expecting a list view or list box. Okay, now here you can call it as let me say this as customers, and then in this right click and add one of them, click on the new button, and I have, let's say, list view. Let me check if it is accepting this or not. Okay, it has accepted. I have taken a list view and I will call this as left list view, or if you want to call left side or whatever it is, you can use it. Okay, you can call whatever name you want. I am using left list view. And this is my one of the list view. Okay, done. Now this is good. Oh, but this has taken the selected panel. This is very bad. Okay, now let me duplicate this. What has taken? It has taken action panel group. Okay, this is why I say create all the controls at once. Otherwise, this is what will happen. I have all the group controls now. So what it will do is it will create it by its own. Now you can see this copy one. This should be the come down. Okay. And now let me go here. Okay. In the actions panel, it is expecting now. Okay. Now what I will do is I will take this. Okay. And I will call this as right side, right list view. This is left list view and this is right list view. Okay, let me call this as right list view. Instead of customers, let me call it as right list view and left list view. And this as well, okay, left list view. Okay, I think somewhere we have added it. List panel. No. Oh, sorry. I have added to that now, which is why I'm not getting it. I can use left list or something else. Okay. Now you can see. And inside this, okay, this is the difference. I want to call this as right list. Okay. And this as right list view. Okay. Right list view. Done. Save. Now the next thing that we need to do is action panel. Let me call this as action panel. Okay. And in this, it is expecting 2 buttons, add button and remove button. Right click, new, and you can create a button, and then you can create one more button. New, and you can create one more button here. Done. Okay. You can call this as add, and you can 1 second, I'm checking. Okay, and this is remove. Done. Save. Okay. Now let me go and check in the design how it will look like. Tap page 3. Did we get the same thing here? Left list view, right list view, action panel. Okay. So this is how you can construct using the code. Now how to add the data to it? Okay. To add the data to it, I will go to run method, view code, and in this I will use AMA customers, and I will use customers while select. Okay, I think we have less number of customers. Let me take sales. AMA sales table. I want to get some number of records here, which is why. Or if you want to get it from the cost table, you can do that. The standard table. Okay. If you want to get from the cost table, you can also use cost table. That's up to you. While select. Let me take account number. Account name from cost table. Here you can say, okay, 1 second. I want to go to here table of contents. I have left the list view, and I want to set auto declaration to yes, and I have right list view. I want to set auto declaration to yes. Save. Done. Now you can come back to this one, and you can say left list view dot. Okay, left list view dot, and then you can add the data. As simple as this. How to add the data? We have a method called. Okay, let me check. I think it should be add. Okay, left list view dot add, and then you can say cast table dot account number. Done. So now what it will do? It will add all the data to the cost table. And similarly, let's say you don't want to use cost table, you want to use sales table. You can use. Let's say you want to add multiple columns. Here I am adding only account number, but you want to add multiple columns, and you have a method called add column, and you can set whatever you want. You can add any number of columns to this list view. Okay, so this is how we will add data to the list view. Now after adding the data, here we have two buttons. Is that right? We have added two buttons. One is this one, and the second one is this one, add button. Let's say here, if you want to get the information what has been modified in the left list view. Okay, because this would be the requirement. Yeah, let's say someone has modified. Okay, you have selected one record in the left list view and you want to get information of it. You need to write a clicked method, and in this clicked method you can do whatever you want. And here, whenever we are working with the list view, it will return items out of it. What it will do? It will return items out of it. Okay, and you might ask me, oh, how do you know that? For that, simply use left list view dot. Okay, and here you can see lot of methods. From these methods you can choose whatever you want, column, rows, and everything. Okay, and here whenever you want to get something, you will have the get. We will have the get methods. Okay, you can see here these are the get methods. Get item. Okay, what it is returning? It is returning the form list item. What it is returning? It is returning the form list item. Okay, now let's say I want to, let's say if they are selecting the multiple records, I want to get them all. So what I need to do? I need to take int index. I need to take form list item, and then I need to say list item. Okay, Next, index equal to left list view dot get next item. And inside this, what is this expecting? Form list next type. Form list next. Okay. And here you need to use all records. If you want to get everything, use all. If you want to get only selected records, you can use selected. Bracket close, semicolon. Now it has got the index. When all the records are read from this left list view, the index will become -1. So what we will do is we will use while index is not equal to -1, then loop through the elements. And here I am getting the item. So list item equal to left list view dot get item, and then here you need to specify the index. You have the IDX already with you. You can use IDX. Now I got the item. Now how to get data from the item? To do that, if you want to display, you can use the info, and then you can say item dot, one second, list item dot text. Okay, this is for displaying. Now if I want to add this to the right list view, right list view dot add, in the bracket, what you need to do? Specify the text. Okay, and if you want to remove this item, left list view dot delete, and in the bracket IDX. I am deleting from the left list view, adding to the right list view. Now I need to go to the next item. How to do that? Index equal to, done. Okay, done. Now again, this I am doing for add button. Similarly, what I need to do? Add means it will go from left to right. Remove means it will come back from right to left. For right to left, we will see later on. Okay, or you can write it from your end. Okay, so let's see whether it works or not. And along with this, if I go to a list view, there should be a property called multi-select. Okay, grid lines, it is set to no. That is good. Single selection, I will set it to no, and then I forgot that multi-selection or something should be there. Enable column header, edit labels, grid lines, header drag group, item align top, needed permission, row select. Yes. This is the one that I need. Yes. Okay. Because if I use checkbox, it will display checkboxes. Checkbox. Yes. And then single selection. No. Row select. Yes. Okay. Save. Done. Because if I add checkbox, I will be able to select multiple things. Let me do a rebuild. If there are any errors, we need to fix them, and then we need to move forward. Similarly, if you want to get a lookup on the string control or the integer control dynamically, what we will do is we have a class called sysTable lookup, and we'll be using this. Okay, and how to use this sysTable lookup? It's very simple here. Okay, you need to create a query. If you want to get data out of a query, you need to create a, if you have only few values, you can use that few values to get the lookup. Okay, because you can select, use a combo box, and in the combo box you will have a add method. You can simply use combo box dot add, and you can add whatever you want. Okay, we will see that. 1 second. Good. It is giving some error. A reference to dynamics AX contact person. From where I am getting this? I am getting this because I have used cost table. So what I need to do? I need to go to model management, update model parameters, and then I need to add the contact parameters to Amazon. Select Amazon, click on next button. It is expecting the contact person. Finish. One second. It is loading. Now let me do a rebuild back again.
Hello, I have a doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the difference between duplicate to a project and make a extension in a project?
See here, I told you there are two ways. If you want to create the same thing, there are two ways. One way is by using the class called syslistPanel. Second way is by using the list panel control. Okay, so there is already existing form. Instead of creating everything newly, you can simply duplicate that form in your project and you can customize that. That is one way. The second way is like this, you need to create everything from the scratch. Got it? There is no need of creating the extension, because you're not customizing the existing stuff. You're trying to create a new screen. Okay. Okay, build got completed successfully. Let me check. Okay, now let me go to the front end and let it open. We will see it. A table of contents, and let's see how it works now. I'm going to tap page 3. Here I got all the list of customers. Now let me select any one of them. Let me select this. It went here, displayed in the info. Now for the back, I did not write any code. So if you select this and if you select this, nothing will happen here. I did not write any code for this button. Similarly, if I am selecting, let's say 4, I will get all the 4. Okay. And similarly, what we need to do? This one as well, you need to write the code. How to do that? Here, I have wrote write list u dot add. Here you need to write list u dot add. And here you need to write list u dot delete. You need to reverse these two, and then you need to override the clicked method of remove button. Got it? So this is how we will work with the list panel and the list panel control. Okay. Now let's do one more thing. Now this is about the list panel. This is good. Okay. Now here, I don't want to come here back again. I want to create one more tab page, a new tab page, and I will go to properties. Oh no, I don't want to create a new one. That would be again a thing. Instead of that, I will create one more tab page in this one. Okay, and I will set the pattern as fields and field groups. I will go to properties and I will set the caption. Lookup fields. Okay, and now right click and create a new string field. Click on the new button and there should be a string. Let me take this string field and set auto declaration to yes. Where is auto lookup auto declaration? Yeah, here. Set it to yes and come down here and I will call this as, just a second, it's loading. Okay, I will call this as lookup field. Okay, and here I will call it as lookup. Okay, now here let's say I want to generate a lookup for this specific button. Okay, for this one, how to do that? If I go to methods and override, check if there is any method called init here. Oh, I have something called initialize and there is no other method. Okay, now if you want to generate a lookup, there are different ways. What are those ways? Now let me go to the run method, and in the run method I want to try adding a lookup and I want to see whether it is working or not. Okay, now what I will do is I will take no, I want to create one XPP query. One second. Already we have worked with XPP queries now. Let's copy it and paste it here and try. AOD queries, AOD queries, AOD queries, XPP, XPP. Where is that? Yeah, this one. Okay. View code. And here you can see this is a big query. Yeah? So let me take this address and QBDS address. Okay. Let me take this address and then let me come back to this XPP queries. QBDS address equal to add data source of this one. Okay, give me a second. Okay, now you can see here I'm using this. Let me paste the query. I got the table called cost table. This is good. I got one table now. And what to do the next step? Just I'm checking query, 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 and I want to execute this query. Okay, so if you want to execute this query, what you will do? Directly you will add and you will execute this query. So what is the next thing that you can do? If you want to join, you can apply multiple joins. But here there is no need of query run. Instead of that, we will use sys table lookup. Okay, we will use sys table lookup, and let me call it as sys table lookup equal to no, not instance. Let me check if there is any constructor lookup. Okay, we have the construct method. If you want to get the sys-table lookup, you can use this construct. And similarly, we have new parameters. In these new parameters, we are going to specify the table name and what is the form control. Okay, I will say table name in the bracket AMA address, and what is the form control? The form control name is lookup. Okay, done. I am saying I want to get the lookup out of the AMA address table. in this lookup. Okay, and I forgot to add query build data source here. Done. Okay, and in the next step I need to add the lookup field dot, you can use add lookup field method, and in this lookup field method you can set field name in the bracket AMA address comma, let's say I want to take city, semicolon. Done. Okay, now I want to get this data from the query. How to do that? You can use systable lookup dot param query, and you can mention what is the query here, query address. Done. Okay, this is my query address. And similarly, if you want to add multiple joins, you can add. I am showing only with a single data source, and at the end copy this and then call a method called perform form lookup. Done. Okay, this is how we are. And even if you don't want, if you want to add multiple joins, then you need to use again query build data source. Otherwise you can add query address dot add data source. That will be enough. Okay, now let me do one thing. Let me do a rebuild and then run and check whether it is working fine or not. Okay, seems like build is completed. Good. Now let me go to USN. Okay. Okay, it got loaded. Let me go to shopping management system. All this I am doing at the runtime, yeah. So let's see, because I don't know whether it works or not. Okay, we are working everything on runtime. Okay, this is tab page 3, and this is lookup. Oh, sorry, we did not get anything. In city, we did not get any lookup here. So I will do one thing, because actually it should get, but I did not get any lookup. You can see here. Let me check this, because already we are out of time. Okay, let me check that. Okay, I will check that and I will show you, because this is table lookup, it should show, but unfortunately this is not showing the lookup for me in the lookup control. Okay, I will see this and I will let you know. Okay, there should be some small change somewhere. I will see that. Okay, yep. Now it's your time. Please let me know if you have any queries.
Kumar, seriously, we have to write such a code.
Means
Means such a complex code actually.
where you are seeing the complex code? Yeah, I did not
That
see complex code.
less than.
Yeah, that anyways you need to write, because frankly speaking, everything I am doing at the runtime. Okay, whatever you need to do is you need to remember the logic. That is what is important. Okay, if you remember the logic and you know what to do, then writing code would be very easy. Yeah, it's not a difficult task, because you can see everything I am writing at the runtime. And few of the times people used to ask me the documentation. If you have any documentation, please give us. But I don't have any documentation. Okay, all these are at runtime. I will write, which is why all these controls, even unless and until I see, I will not decide what will be discussed today. Okay, once we come to the controls, because actually I plan to discuss Power BI today, but I would like to explain you this control so that you will know how to write code in forms. So at runtime, I will do this. Okay. So you need to do in the similar fashion. You need to get the requirement. You need to start working with it. Then only you will learn. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Thanks all for the session. Let's meet again tomorrow, same time. Thank you all. Bye. I'm ending meeting for everyone.